I woke up in the Jamaican town Port Royal just as I, Captain Charles Hunter, normally would. I prepared for the day and went out to do my normal daily tasks such as going to the tavern, talking with my mates, and of course, starting street fights. I then later went over to my ship to do some maintenance and later went back home, just an ordinary day in the life. This drink best represents my life because it is something I have every day and is a large part of my daily life. Today, Governor Almont told me about a large mission that would either result in me becoming extremely rich or dying a terrible death. The plan to raid Monte Cruz, a large Spanish stronghold with thousands of British pounds. However, Monte Cruz was heavily guarded with Spanish soldiers and warships, which meant the only way in without getting killed instantly was by scaling a 400-foot cliff in the dark. I accepted the offer instantly because I believe that the voyage is possible and I can return a wealthy hero. This map represents the call to adventure because it is a plan on how to raid Monte Cruz and how to escape. It's the first thing Almont showed me. To find a crew, one of my most trusted men named Santos offered to join, at which I was more than happy to accept. He's gone on dozens of voyages throughout his life and is known throughout Port Royal for his inventions, including Granados. He gave me many tips on which types of people I need in my crew, who to trust and who not to trust, and taught me how to read and write, and in general made me a better seaman. He's my number 2 man. This journal represents Santos because of the knowledge he has given me, and he's taught me how to read and write. September 7th, 1695, we left on our voyage for Monte Cruz with a crew of around 80 men on the voyage. There's no turning back now because I promised the crew and Governor Almont with great riches and wealth. The skies are blue, the water is calm. I have a good feeling about this voyage. This world glass represents crossing the threshold because as soon as we got on their ship, our journey began. On the third day of our journey, we saw a Dutch warship around 2 miles away, growing nearer by the minute. We knew we had to prepare for battle, for if we didn't get past them, our hopes of riches were ending. We readied the cannons and fired as soon as they came into range. They fired back, damaging us greatly. One more round would surely sink us. Luckily, we fired back before they did, which made us victorious. This warship represents tests, allies, and enemies because defeating the warship has been our greatest victory so far. After raiding Monte Cruz and making away with lots of riches and a new ship, we were encountered with the Spanish galleon. Since both of my ships were already weakened, we decided to try and sail away, but it just kept following us. Eventually, we knew we had to attack them and decided to pinch the warship with both of my ships. During the attack, our new ship, with around a quarter of our riches, was sunk before we sunk the Spanish galleon. Although we came out victorious, we lost ship, men, and now our current ship is damaged and short of men. This sinking ship represents ordeal, death, and rebirth because we suffered a great loss in both men and riches. Finally in the clear with the loot. We raided a heavily armed port, a Spanish galleon, and destroyed a Dutch warship. We are around 3 days away from Port Royal, and I'm ready to become a rich and honored man. With all the gold I'm about to have, I can buy a new ship, a new home, and drinks for the rest of my life. This chest represents seizing the sword because I finally have the riches that I've worked so hard for. On our last day back, we encountered the mighty Kraken. Just as I thought our voyage was over, the mighty beast emerged from the depths of the sea. And to make matters worse, our ship was on the verge of sinking already and we couldn't afford too much damage. The Kraken was picking men off one by one and we were taking heavy damage. My remaining men and I drew our swords and started slashing at the arms until it eventually sunk back into the depths of the ocean. The Kraken represents the road back because we faced our greatest challenge when we were only a few miles from shore. The Kraken almost spoiled our entire journey, even when we were so close to home.